Hey there everybody, welcome back to another episode of Life in Germany. I don't know about you, but it's getting close to Christmas time and this is one of my favorite times of the year just because of all the different traditions that go on and just all the different other sights and sounds and everything. And I thought it would be a really cool idea to go through and show you what it's like here in Germany during Christmas time. I don't know about you, but one of my biggest memories, one of my best memories of Christmas time was going through the toy catalogs, the Christmas wish catalogs from JcPenney's or Sears. This was the best comparable catalog that I could find in Germany. I remember always these catalogs coming in the mail at my parents' house or my grandma's house, and I'd spend hours looking through the catalog at the different toys that were out there. And so this was kind of cool that I found when I went shopping the other day, Christmas shopping. I found this at the store's called Müller, and this is like comparable to like a JcPenney's. That kind of reminded me a little bit of home, so that was kind of cool. What's typical in Germany is Advent, and this is something I didn't really know about in the United States all that much. We might have had it, my family never did it. Advent are the Sundays that lead up to Christmas, before Christmas, and there's 4 of them. And what German people do is they'll go out and they'll buy what's called an Adventskranz, which is like a little wreath that's made out of either like pine branches or evergreen branches stuck together, and then they have little decorations inside of them, and then they have 4 candles. And for each Sunday of Advent, you light one of those candles. So the first week of Advent, you light 1 candle. The second week, you light 2 candles, 3 candles, and so forth up until Christmas. At least how my wife's family does it is on Sunday, on the Advent, they get together and they have what's called Kaffee trinken. They'll have different cakes. One is called a Stollen. They're a style that comes from Dresden, Germany, where they have powdered sugar on the outside. They have like a white cake on the inside with different almonds and different lemon type scented tasting stuff inside, and then they have raisins. I'm not a big fan of the raisins, but I've kind of gotten used to it now. So usually on an Advent Sunday, everybody gets together and they have Kaffee trinken, and they'll usually sit down together, usually in the afternoon or whenever everybody has time. And on the table they'll have the Adventskranz that's lit with how many ever candles it is for that Advent. And then they'll have everything laid out for drinking coffee, and they'll have their cake. They'll have usually Stollen. They'll have these cookies that are called Spekulatius. They're really good. I really like those. They're really well seasoned. They have a lot of cinnamon in them. They have a lot of cloves, nutmeg, all the typical Christmas spices are in there. They'll have these little tiny things called Dominosteine, where they're little chocolate covered cubes, I guess, where they have marzipan in there, which is like an almond paste is the best way I can describe it. They have like a jelly or a marmalade inside there. And they have a third layer, which is Lebkuchen or gingerbread. And they'll also have little cookies that are called Plätzchen that are special to Christmas time. They have Vanillekipferl that look like a little moon, vanilla flavored cookies. They have Zimtsterne, which are cinnamon stars. They also have Pfefferkuchen, which is gingerbread. That's really good here. They even have like specialty shops where you can order Pfefferkuchen, and they have like jelly-filled marmalade inside of it and stuff like that. That's really good. So they'll have all their cookies and whatnot laid out on the table with the Stollen, and then what they'll also have, if you're lucky, is they'll have one of these things, which is called a Pyramide. And this comes from the Erzgebirge initially, where it's all made out of handcrafted wood. Usually if you get a good one, it's handcrafted wood, so it's really fragile and they're really expensive. But it's all handcrafted, and you'll have on the outside here little spots to put tea lights, or you can flip it around and you can put little tiny candles in there. And you light all of those, and then the heat from that candle comes off and spins the propeller. And then usually in the middle of underneath the propeller, in the middle of the pyramide, you have like a picture, or you have or not a picture, but you have a little sculpture of different things. In this case, it's little deer and little evergreen trees. And then the other thing that you'll have, usually, not necessarily on the table because you just can't stand it, but there is a Räuchermann, which means a smoke man. This also comes from the region of the Erzgebirge, and these are also they're also handcrafted, so they can also be a little bit pricey. But what they are is just a little sculpture, they also have them in little houses and stuff like that, but it's a little man that you can take apart like this, and then you take these little incense cones, and you light the little cone, and you make sure it's still not on fire. You just make sure it's smoldering, and then you put this back over top, and then it'll smoke out of his mouth here, and it'll send that incense up into the room through his mouth. It is so that in Germany, on the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th, these are all very special Christmas days. On the 24th, you open presents and whatnot. You also have Christmas dinner, and it can be anything between, here in Bavaria, it's typical, I think, Schweinebraten, so like roast pig with all kinds of different sides. You can also have roast duck or goose. For example, my wife's family on the Ostsee, so on the Baltic Sea, they do things a little bit differently. They have cold potato salad with Würstchen, with little sausages, or big sausages rather. To me that sounds a little bit strange. It's like, how can you eat that on Christmas? But that's what they do up there. Down here we started kind of getting, we fought tradition a little bit, and we got turkey. So we have like a Thanksgiving type style turkey for Christmas whenever we make it. But otherwise, my wife's other grandparents, they make it. I really love it. It's called Sauerbraten. So it's this beef roast that has red cabbage and Brussels sprouts, and they have like these potato, I think they're potato dumplings with little croutons inside, and then of course you have this gravy that comes over it, and it's delish. It's good stuff. But anyway, you have, for every night that you have, so the 24th, the 25th, the 26th, you have a meal for every single night. So you don't just have one big meal, you have 3 big meals. And you're expected to eat it all, and yeah. Eating it, enjoying it's not the bad part, it's just eating it and finding places to stuff it all. But you'll have leftovers for, typically the next week afterwards. But the food here is really good. So one of the other typical things that you'll have in Germany during Christmas time are which unfortunately this year and last year they've been closed because of Corona, but you'll have the Christmas markets, or the Weihnachtsmärkte, or Markt for singular. They'll have an open area in the square of town, or the center of town, or a different area, where they have these little tiny booths where vendors from all kinds of different areas come, and they sell these little trinkets for Christmas time. You'll have all these little Christmas shops that come, and like I said, they'll sell honey. You'll have honey makers there. You'll have wax makers. They have little wax figurines, lots of candles, different things like that. And then you'll have like sausage shops, little different sausages, little different candies. You'll have like candied apples. You'll have roasted almonds, roasted hazelnuts, different things like that. You'll also have live music like here at the Wartburg. That's where Martin Luther hid out from the Catholic Church. And then what's typical is you'll have Glühwein. And Glühwein is just essentially spiced wine with a little bit of schnapps in it. And it's usually like a red wine. It's a dark, red wine. And when you buy it, usually Glühwein costs about, I think, €2 per cup. But what they'll do is they'll charge you €4 or so, or maybe even €5. And what they're charging you for is for the cup, for the Glühwein itself and the cup. And the cool thing is, they'll give you a little chip with it as well. So if you want to drink your Glühwein and you want to bring your cup back, you can do that, and you give them back the cup, and that's a deposit. You give them back the cup and the little token, and that's a deposit. Then they'll give you your €3 back. However, every year at the Christmas markets, usually they have different cups, and they have different kind of caricatures on them. They have different scenes and whatnot, and usually they have the date stamped on there. This one's from 2006 from Erfurt. And like I said, every year they'll have a different type of cup. And if you like the cup, you can keep the cup because you already paid for it in the €3. So what's typical is people usually collect Christmas market cups over the years from the Glühwein. Like I said, you don't have to. You can give it the token back and then you get your money back. But sometimes they have some really cool designs. Well, with that, we'll wrap it up, and I hope that this was informative for you guys. You guys kind of got a little taste for the traditions and what it's like here in Germany during Christmas time. It's a very special time. If you ever get the opportunity to travel to Germany and see what it's like in Christmas, I would definitely suggest that you do so. I would also like to see what it's like in France and Belgium and all these other areas in Europe as well during this time. I think a lot of it's similar as far as like the Christmas markets and all that. The food, I would be really curious to see what that would be like. But Christmas time is definitely something that's very special in Europe. So if you get a chance, definitely check it out. And if you guys have any different, I'll open it up to you guys in the comments. If you guys have any special traditions or anything like that that you feel would be really cool to share, go ahead and leave your different traditions in the comments there. Or how have you ever experienced Christmas here in Germany? For the Americans, obviously, for German people, do you have any American things that you find interesting or totally tasteless or anything like that? Share anything and everything that you have about Christmas if you'd like to. Yeah, so I hope this was informative for you guys. I hope you had fun. I definitely did. And we'll catch you next time. Take care, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. Frohe Weihnachten. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao. Thanks again, everybody, for watching this episode. If you liked it, hit that like button, please, and maybe subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time. And also, special thanks to Pixabay and all the people who put the really cool pictures online so I can use them for describing what I'm talking about. That really helps, and I appreciate it. So thank you to all you guys. Merry Christmas, everybody.